Well, hello again. It's done nothing but rain for the last couple of days. It looks like we're going to get more rain for the next 2 days. So anyway, fortunately it's not raining continuously. So I was able to get out here and do a little work, setting up that jack, trying to get that differential back up in the car. I'll show you the progress I've made. Well, this is the way we're going to do it. I've got it ready to go here pretty much. This is where the thing will be jacked up on this end. I had to face the gear to the rear because the two wheels in the back are further apart. The ones in the front were so close together, as you can see right there. The ones in the front are too close together, and when I put the heavy part of the differential facing the front, it tipped the entire jack up. So I had to turn it around, push it to the rear, and set it all up that way. But a couple of boards propping it up after I bolted that cutting board thing on there that I told you about in the last video. So now see, she'll jack up real nice. Oh, let me tighten it up here. I better tighten that. There we go. It will jack her up there just like you see her going. Okay, she's fairly solid. I've got it tied to the rear like that. I just took a couple of 2x4s and screwed them into that white plastic thing and then put one across the front. And because this thing is so lopsided to one side, the way it's screwed up, I had to put another little piece there. Just a quick jury rig, to get the thing done. This is a one-time deal, hopefully. Hopefully, I don't want to ever take it back out again. And I also was able to make that gasket work, that bad gasket. I kept messing with it, and I finally got it to where I think it's going to work. And it should seal. And if it doesn't, well, we'll go downtown and buy some Flex Seal. Anyway, the big problem now is, being on the jack, the thing is up higher. So I don't have enough room underneath the car to slip this thing underneath there. Which means I'm going to have to jack the car up even higher. It's just one thing after another. But once I get it underneath, and I can shove this thing, turn it around, and shove it this way, and just start jacking it up, I should be able to align it up with the axle, the differential housing area, and shove it on those nuts, on those studs rather. But first I'm going to have to put some former gasket on there. That's that number 2 down there. I have a tube of it. I like the number 2 because it never hardens up. Good stuff. So let me see what I can do. I'm going to have to clear a bunch of crap off from under here, get the car up, shove it under there, and lower the car back down. I want to make sure that car is completely solid, sitting back on its braces, and a jack stands and everything before I go back underneath there. I couldn't get the car quite high enough to still clear the top of this thing going in this way. So I jacked it up as far as my little old jacks will take it. I don't want to really go much higher. It's up pretty far. It just won't clear it quite. It's got about that much to go. I can't quite get there. So what do we do? Well, if it won't go one way, it's got to go the other. So I'm going to flip this thing over on its side. That'll give me the clearance I need, but I just didn't want the whole heavy part of this thing flopping over, hitting the concrete and coming off of this thing, because the only thing that was really holding it on is this twine in the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and tip it over that way until it rests on its side, slide it in underneath, and tip it back up once it's there. Well, you know how it is. Things are going very smoothly, just as planned. Slipped it in underneath there, got it in position directly below the differential housing there. But I cannot get the thing to roll back up on the wheels of the jack. Every time I try to roll it up, it's so heavy, the wheels scoot out from under and the jack goes that way. Ugh. So what I'm going to have to do now is take it all back out. What's happened is the string has allowed the differential to fall back down in the front. It's still nice and secure in the rear on that jack, but I'm going to have to drag it all back out again. I'm going to have to tighten everything up, make it real tight, so when I get it in there, I can somehow get it to go back up. The drive shaft was the initial problem. Man, that thing kept banging into that, and I said, what is going on here? And then I realized the drive shaft was on the ground. So I've got it, I've got it tied up now, out of the way. Everything's cool, but I'm going to have to play with this thing. Well, the old boy just does not want to cooperate. I got it back under there again. I tried to flip it up again. It just did not work. So there's only one solution left, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to do something else. I'm just going to have to go for coffee. But I'm telling you, this thing's going to get underneath this car tonight. We have to go higher. Higher with the car. And that's what we're doing over here. I thought I could maybe pull it off without having to do it. But we're going to take this baby up at least another 1.5 inches, and I think it'll clear that differential. We can slide it on in. Well, there you go, folks. It's in, it's vertical. We have met the enemy, and he is ours. Anyway, there's the old jack down there to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. That's the back of the jack, where the jack handle is. And that's the ring gear that goes into the housing. And I'll have to finish it tomorrow. Now that I have it in place and ready to go, I'm a lot more relaxed, but I am so tired. Just getting that thing up there and in there and getting that thing all situated just flat wore me out. I'm ready for some coffee. I'll see you the next time, maybe tomorrow. Well, it's the next day and it is really wonderful. The sun is out, the rain has stopped. Although I've got puddles of water all over my yard, so do our neighbors. I'm going to get out there in the garage and see if I can't finally get that rear end up just a little bit higher and slide it into that housing. I'll tell you what, guys, let's do a little safety reminder here. We've been getting a few of our subscribers chiming in saying that they bought a car, Thunderbird, 64, 66, I think even a 65. Have contacted me and said they're going to be replacing springs or doing whatever they want to do to the car. If you're going to crawl under these cars, you have to think safety every single second. You cannot let up. Now I'm getting ready. Now I've got everything ready to go. I repositioned a few things. I'm getting ready to go back under here, get that rear end up and get it in that housing. But after repositioning everything and making sure things were secure, once more I have one stack of wood and stone holding that one up. I've got a jack stand right here holding the axle up. I've got a jack stand right here behind that one underneath the leaf spring itself. So these are nice and secure. They're nice and tight, and of course the weight of the axle and everything is on that one. And on the other side of the car, the passenger side, is the same way. The wood underneath the axle itself, and then of course another one up underneath the leaf spring, and there's weight on all of that. And one thing I want you to remember, you say, well, that's sort of overkill. Yes, it is. Hey, I'm proud of that, okay? I want overkill. I'm the guy who's going to be underneath that car, not the Chinese manufacturing plant that made these things, if you get my drift. Two more things concerning safety. Be sure to chock your front wheels, and don't just set the board down there and push it up against the wheel. Take a hammer and tap it in real good underneath there so it doesn't move. If you can move it with your foot after you've set it under there, you didn't do it right. Actually, you should use actual wheel chocks, but there again, plastic wheel chocks nowadays. And I have another one over here, tapped up with the hammer real tight up underneath that tire. It's not going to move. Very important. Last but not least, let's talk about one more thing. Keep your work area as clean as you can. You don't need to have a ton of crap all over the floor. I see these mechanics, they walk around, they've worked all day on a car, and they're just coated with grease and crap and gook and everything. And they work in a garage, and I'm thinking, why are they so dirty? You don't, just because you're working on it, you're dirty when you're doing the particular job. But I've seen guys work all day on a car, and they just get so crusty, filthy, dirty. And not once do they stop and try to clean their hands and get their tools cleaned up, sweep the floor a little bit, making the job easier. It's all part of the safety issue, guys. You don't need to have a filthy, rotten, dirty area to work in, and you don't need to have an unsafe area. Take the time to sweep it up, clean it up, and, keep yourself clean. I just can't tell you some of the guys I've seen. Some of these old redneck Arkies, oh my God, they just get so covered with grease and all day long. They won't once. They take a rag and wipe their hands. That's about it, Keep it clean, guys. Alright folks, it's time to take the old pocket knife here, start cutting the old apron strings. They're blocking some of the unknown caller. I love unknown callers. I get to block them right away as soon as they stop ringing. Alright, as I was saying, it's time to cut the old apron strings with the old pocket knife here. The strings are blocking some of the areas where I have to put my former gasket on, so they've got to get out of the way. And then I will slowly but surely pull this jack my way. You know, when you do something like this, after you've made sure your car is very secure, you just kind of move it slowly, you know, maybe a quarter to a half inch at a time. Don't just rush it forward and jam it up. Slowly, slowly, watch it, watch it, watch it, and it'll probably, hopefully, maybe slip right over the studs without any problem. And when it does, I have a couple of, I've got my ratchet down here with a couple of nuts that I'll put on real quick. Tighten them up, you know, maybe not all the way, but I'll get them fairly tight. Then I can lower the jack and get it out of the way, because those two screws will hold that differential in place until I get the rest of them on. Piece of cake, huh? Well, that idea was a total failure. You know, I just love this kind of stuff. Trying to figure this stuff out. You know, what a challenge. This is the best part. I think that last idea, I think I got that idea from Ron C. It totally sucked. The whole idea did. Anyway, we're going to have to do this again. What happened was when I got the differential up, jacked up, and just ready to stick it into the housing, I realized it wouldn't go. What is going on? I was so close to getting it on. The drive shaft. The nemesis, our drive shaft is the nemesis again. It got in my way. I couldn't believe it. So I had to jack up the drive shaft and get it as far as, you know, way up into the drive shaft, the hollow part of the car, you know, where it'd be up out of the way. And keep in mind, I had the strings all cut off of this thing. Well, when I jacked up that drive shaft, this thing rolled right off onto the floor. the differential. So I said, huh. That idea is not going to get it, and so here we go. I'm going to have to try something different. It was a little bit too high. I raised the car up, got it back under there, and then lowered it back down. I just don't want to go through all that crap again. Too much effort. I took the boards off, and we'll set it back on there, see if we can't stabilize it some other way, and it'll be down lower by, what, 1.5 inches, which will help. Well, here's our next attempt. I cleared all that off, like I said, and I've now just got it sort of balanced on there. It's really difficult to balance this thing because of the weird things they got sticking out, all these. I guess there's a reason for this, strength and heat dissipation, I don't know. Anyway, you know, the question is, will it clear the axle when I slide it on in there? I got the left side jacked up higher than the right. We'll see. God, if not, I'm just going to call it a day. I'm already tired. She is back under the car and in position. And once again, I'm worn out. Oh, man. You know, this has been a long, drawn-out type of thing. But one of the things I want, the young folks, all of this stuff that we're doing on this car is for, you know, young folks who have never really worked on a car before. The old-timers, they know all about this stuff. But, you know, the young guys, you know, the thing is, if things don't go right, you don't just throw up your hands and walk away. You just have patience. You think it out. You try it again. Now, if it doesn't work again this way, I'll have to come up with another way. Just, it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Every time this thing, you know, I used to say in radios, every time I turned the radio back on and I repaired it, if it didn't work, it was always like, hey, this is great. I get to go back in there and dig around again in that radio. Well, the same thing basically applies with, you know, automotive work. Especially when it's just a hobby car, you know. If this way doesn't work, well, shucks, I got to sit down and skull brain and do it again. I get to do it, you know, 3, 4, maybe 5 more times. I don't know. Just be patient. Don't get in a hurry. Remember, it's always fun. It is the next day, and once again, I'm going to try to get that baby up there. And after about 30, 40 minutes, if I can't do it, I'm just going to quit. Because I have a yard to mow, as you can see over there, all the way over there. I've got some very, very high grass. So let's see what I can do. It's the same old procedure, you know, jack, 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 very slowly. Try to move it in. Without that drive shaft there, it should be a whole lot easier. Well, believe it or not, that idea was a total bust also. Oh, man. You know, I think the problem is, the more I think about it, the more I kept looking underneath the car, was I've got the differential too level. I think it needs to be put in there, raised up in the front. That way when I go forward with it, it'll be angled at more of an angle to the open area of the differential of the axle housing. So let me see if I can figure out a way to raise this side up and then put this back on there. We'll give it one more try before I have to mow the yard. Well, I tell you, I don't think that's going to work either. I now have the white platform tilted up this way about that high, but as soon as I put that big old heavy thing back on there, it just caved it right down in again. So I don't know. The only thing left would be to use a stronger board than what I have there. Now I know that some of you out there saying, well, you know, if that was me, I'd do it this way, and I'd be doing this, and I'd do that. You know how I know that? Because I'm doing the same thing. But that's the whole fun of it. I want you guys to be thinking out there saying, you know, I don't know why he doesn't do it this way. Why, doesn't he know he should do this? And, you know, if I had to, I'd do it this way, you know. Oh, we are having fun, aren't we? Well, our good subscriber Ron C. and his brilliant ideas to use that thing, yeah, right, didn't work at all. No problem. I've got a couple other ideas up my sleeve. You know, this entire setup, this entire problem could have been solved if I just had enough strength to lift that thing up and get it in there where it belongs. Now, years ago, no problem. Can't do it now, so all this improvising is so far resulting in total failure. Gotta love it. I'll tell you what, let's just mow the yard.
Hi-yo, Silver! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo, Silver! The Lone Ranger!
Until next time, when I hope we have better success, this is John.
Hi-yo, Silver! Forward!